Wasps don't eat honey, but they eat bees. They are the most significant natural threat to all wild bees. They are at the top of the food chain in the insect world, and they live in groups. It's a peaceful and sunny day in Gaoligong Mountain. The wasps are building a nest connected to a sturdy eave by a short handle. Their building material is a pulp-like mixture made from a mixture of plant fibers and their saliva. With different materials, the wasps can make variously colored patterns on the surface of their nest. The hive grows bigger and bigger as the wasps work non-stop. The completed nest is like a giant basketball. It's sturdy, durable, windproof, and rainproof. It's much more sophisticated than a honeybee nest. Such a well-built nest meets the wasps' needs for communal living. Wasps can be seen in most parts of China. They are fierce with highly toxic stings. Their life goes through 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. They usually build their nests in tree trunks, branches, or eaves. Many food stores and hundreds of nursery rooms are in a wasp nest. The wasp larvae are waiting to be fed. The workers keep feeding them. Their food isn't honey, but the insects they catch, such as bees. They provide chewed insects to the larvae, and the larvae secrete a liquid that adult wasps love to eat. They each supply what the other needs. This is the benefit of living in groups. The wasp larvae have been looked after carefully and fed with meat. No wonder they are so fierce. The larvae mature quickly, and their bodies gradually change from crystal clear to yellowish. At this point, they are about to pupate. Before pupation, they spin silk to seal the nest opening and enter the pupal stage. An adult wasp can catch a dozen insects daily to feed their larvae. Nevertheless, a close relative of the wasp, the potter wasp, is even more careful than the wasp in caring for their offspring. It likes to hunt small insects, worms in particular. They may forego eating the prey, often leaving an entire worm to their offspring. For the safety of her offspring, this female potter wasp builds a nursery with earth before laying eggs. After laying eggs, it catches a worm, anesthetizes it, puts it in the nursery, and seals the opening carefully. When its larvae hatch, they'll feed on the worm. This mother wasp is very thoughtful. It bestows great care upon the next generation. of a wasp is the stinger on its tail. The stinger is a female wasp's ovipositor. When the ovipositor loses its original function, it becomes an organ of defense. The stinger typically hides inside the wasp's body. When the wasp comes across an enemy, it extends its stinger and thrusts it into the enemy's body. The stinger connects to the wasp's poison gland. The poison is injected into the victim's body along with the stinger. But unlike a bee's stinger, the wasp's stinger doesn't stay in the victim's body. Instead, it can be retrieved. What a formidable weapon! Other than weapons, the history and identity of the wasps are also noteworthy. Wasps are actually the ancestors of ants, but even ants have a 100-million-year history. The sociality of wasps and ants only evolved independently afterward. The communal living of ants is permanent. Hunting together is one of the reasons why they have developed a way of communal living. In Gaowanjie National Nature Reserve in Hunan, we find many polyrachis. They are attacking a locust. They know how to use the huge crowd and outflanking strategies to cut off the locust's retreat. The locust can't escape now, and the anesthetic starts to take effect. The ants are going to drag it back into their nest. The number of ants in a colony ranges from a few dozen to tens of millions. It is estimated that the total weight of ants on Earth is the same as that of humans, accounting for about 10% of the total weight of animals. Meanwhile, an ant can carry an object several times or even a dozen times heavier than its weight. The number of ants in a colony is large. How do they contact and communicate with each other? It turns out that they communicate through the scent of their secretions, also known as pheromones. If the food in one place is all collected and no ants are coming again, the scent gradually dissipates. Like other insects, ants use their antennae to recognize odors. Their antennae can distinguish an odor's intensity and its source's direction and distance. Adults also exchange food with each other to learn through its smell about each other's health, nutritional status, the food they found, and more. Further, they can also distinguish which colony the other party belongs to. Ants are completely metamorphosed insects that undergo 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. They have well-developed upper jaws, antennae, and 3 pairs of feet, making them good at walking and running. Worker ants are immature females responsible for caring for their queens and larvae. They are the smallest in the colony, but the largest in number. They are also responsible for complex work such as digging holes, hunting, and gathering food. They bring everything they find and think is edible to their nest. Soldier ants are also infertile females specializing in fighting and defending their nests. They have large heads and strong upper jaws, capable of crushing hard food and acting as weapons in combat. They play a crucial role in the ant colony. In Gaoligong Mountain, we see ants dragging their anesthetized prey to their nest, but the prey is too large compared to the entrance. They can't drag it into the nest. What should they do? The workers' ants bury it in the sand at the entrance to eat it later bit by bit. Nests are the primary place where ants live. These ants are smart architects. We see a chimney-like structure they have built, which is ingenious and beautiful. This unique structure is the air conditioner of their nest. It regulates both the temperature and humidity inside the nest. The nest is very comfortable despite thousands of family members living inside. Ants are typically yellow, brown, black, and orange. They not only have a wide variety but also an astonishing number of individuals of the same species. They are omnivorous insects with a varied diet. They eat whatever they think is edible. Ants are not afraid of light and they usually work in open spaces. Living in groups make ants feel secure and enables them to transport food, build nests, hunt together, and more. Many people confuse ants and termites in the forest. As a matter of fact, they belong to different orders. Ants belong to the order Hymenoptera, while termites belong to Isoptera. With respect to the evolutionary history of insects, the termite is an ancient and primitive insect. After living in dark holes for a long time, termites' vision has degenerated, and they fear the light. They search for food entirely by their sense of smell. Most termites are pale white or off-white. Termites mainly feed on decayed wood in the forest. Their ability to digest wood fibers isn't due to their unique physiological functions, but the flagellates in their intestines. What are these termites busy doing? They are building a fungus garden. In the garden built with saliva and feces will grow a kind of mushroom. All the termites feed on this mushroom. Sometimes the mushroom, called Colibia albuminosa, or the termite mushroom, grows out of the ground. It has become a delicacy on our human dining tables. Termites are one of the most famous architects in the insect world. They build and repair nests very fast. Nests of sand termites are the sturdiest of all. While observing a nest, we tear it up with a shovel. When these worker termites find their nest is damaged, they repair the walls with mud from their mouths. They do this to prevent enemies from attacking their colony. After all, this nest is home to tens of thousands of their family members. The mud sand termites use to build their nests and repair holes is no ordinary mud. It's comparable to cement and is very hard after drying up. It's difficult for us to split it even with an axe. We should probably call it termite concrete. The nests of sand termites in the Qianlongkou Nature Reserve in Hainan are the sturdiest in the world. Nests are the primary places for termites to live. The number of termites in a nest can top 1 million. Termites have an incredible reproduction rate. A queen termite is like a huge egg-laying machine, laying thousands of eggs daily. Worker termites move the eggs to the nurseries to hatch every day. The larvae are transparent when they hatch. Everything is new to them when they first arrive in this world. They lead an easy and comfortable life. Worker termites take good care of them and feed them mouth to mouth as soon as they hatch. Although termites and ants are different species, they share the same social structure. Nature has shaped their convergent evolution. Nevertheless, wars are frequent between termites and ants in the forest. Most of these wars are started by the ants. A group of Faydol breaks into a termite nest. The termite soldiers try to besiege and fight against the invading enemies, but they can't gain the upper hand. One of the termite workers refuses to retreat and fights tenaciously against the ants. But the ants come with an evil intent. They are bold and powerful. They adopt a tactic of frontal containment and rear attack. One of the ants climbs onto the back of this worker termite and starts to bite at its neck. In the end, it bites the termite's head off. Ants often attack termite nests. They take termites away to be food or keep as trophies. They hunt termites regularly and with great pleasure. They almost win every battle. Termites may seem weak, but together they can do a lot. As important decomposers of plants in the ecosystem, they decompose 50% to 100% of the plant tissue in the tropical ecosystem and greatly influence how the global ecosystem functions. Busy yellow ants are all crawling here in a Manglesia fordiana flower in the Jianfengling Nature Reserve on Hainan Island. This is Oecophila smaragdina, a weaver ant, known as the forest's guardian. It is found in Guangdong, Guangxi, Hainan, Yunnan, and other provinces in China. They deserve the name weaver ants. They can build a nest in about 30 minutes. This is the work of the weaver ants. The structure of the nest is simple. It is built of a few leaves stuck together with the silk from the larvae's mouths. Weaving nests isn't the most famous skill of these ants, but their hunting is renowned. The Manglesia fordiana plant is a good shelter for the weaver ants. The ants build nests in the trees as tall as 5 to 6 meters. Many tree canopies are covered with ant nests made of leaves. The trees provide the weaver ants shelter. In return, the ants kill the insects that come to eat their leaves. The stick insect, also known as Bacillidae, visits the tree to steal its leaves. It is always cautious with every step it takes, but today, in a moment of carelessness, it attracts the attention of the forest's guardian. The news of the enemy's invasion soon reaches the ants' base camp. Numerous weaver ants gather around and bite the stick insect without any reason. The ants in front are the soldier ants, called big worker ants in peacetime. They besiege the large prey to control it. Some bite its head, some bite its legs, and some bite its stomach. The stick insect is outnumbered and overcome by the weaver ants. The jaws of the big worker ants soon pierce its exoskeleton. Formic acid and anesthetic have been injected into its body. Slowly, it can no longer struggle and finally gives up the idea of escaping. In the forest of Xishuangbanna, Yunnan, we find a larva of the brush-footed butterfly. It finds its favorite leaves and is about to feed when the patrolling weaver ants find it. The larva, strong and covered in burrs, is contemptuous of these tiny ants, believing they are no big deal. But it doesn't know that these are fierce weaver ants. The news of the prey's appearance is quickly sent back to the nest. The ants in the nest act swiftly and rush over immediately. It's too late for the larva to escape. What an unlucky day. Instead of gorging on its favorite leaves, it becomes the prey of these little ants. The weaver ants prevent bugs from eating the leaves because the leaves provide high-quality materials for their nests. Ultimately, the weaver ants inject acid and anesthetic into their prey's body through biting. The butterfly larva is soon paralyzed. It is eventually sentenced to death by the weaver ants for the crime of destroying tree leaves. The power of the group enables tiny insects to subdue opponents much larger than themselves. Therefore, they have gained their rightful place in nature, thus ensuring a balance between the strong and the weak. The communal life of social insects such as bumblebees, wasps, ants, and termites is lifelong or permanent because they all have nests, hierarchy, and division of labor. Non-social insects, on the other hand, live in groups temporarily. Permanent or temporary, it is the best way for them to forage and avoid enemies to survive, and is the result of the continuous evolution of insects. Caring and mutual assistance is the purpose of their lives.